Since we are now learning about the octopus in our Octopus Draw and Label, I thought I would read you a really cool book. It is called It is called An Octopus is Amazing by Patricia Lauber, and it's illustrated by Holly Keller. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's start here because this page is pretty interesting. There are more than 150 known kinds of octopus, okay? And these are just a few of them here. So we have the giant octopus. It can get up to 17 feet, weigh up to 110 pounds, and you can find it in temperate waters of the northern Pacific Ocean from California to Japan. So you could find this octopus here in California. Then this is the common octopus. It can get up to 30 inches. So this one is tiny, tiny. It doesn't get very big. It can be 2 to 4 pounds. And you can find them all over the world in tropical to temperate waters. So remember, so we could find this one in temperate waters. So we could probably find this one here in California too. This one right here is the blue-ringed octopus. Can be from 1.5 to 3 inches. So it's teeny, teeny, tiny. Not very big at all. And it can weigh 2 to 3 ounces. So it doesn't even weigh a pound. It's very, very small. You can find it in tropical waters near Australia and Indonesia. It is the only octopus whose bite is poisonous to humans. So you don't want to be bitten by one of the blue-ringed octopus, okay? And then last but not least, the dwarf octopus. Length is 4 inches and 1/2 ounce. So it weighs even less than this blue-ringed octopus, even though it's bigger. Okay, and you can find it in the Caribbean waters. And this tiny octopus is popular choice for home aquariums. So if some people have octopus in their aquariums, it's probably this dwarf octopus. All right. An octopus is an animal that lives in the sea. It has a soft bag-shaped body and 8 rubbery arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The common octopus lives in a den near shore. It may make its den in a cave or a wrecked ship, in a shell or a tin can, under a rock or in a crack in a cave. Remember in Octavia, she has hers in a cave. Every octopus lives alone. Its den is small, just big enough to hold the octopus. An octopus can squeeze into a small space because it has no backbone. In fact, it has no bones at all. Remember what we were saying in the draw and label? They can squeeze into things that are really, really small. So look here. There's one in a cave. There's some over here in the ship. And look, this one is squeezing itself into a tiny can. An octopus can color in a flash. Usually the octopus matches its surroundings and is hard to see. If it climbs into an empty shell, it turns pink and gray. If it crawls among rocks and seaweeds, it may turn brown and gray and green. An octopus can have colored spots or stripes. It can be half one color and half another color. So here, this one's half one color and half another color. So they are masters of disguise or masters of camouflage. They can blend in with their surroundings really well. Color changes help an octopus to hide or to escape from enemies. And sometimes instead of enemies, we can say predators, right? They may also show how an octopus is feeling. Oh, kind of like a mood ring. Scientists say an angry octopus turns dark red. A frightened one turns pale. We saw that in Octavia and her purple ink cloud. An octopus that is enjoying a meal shows pleasure by changing color. So this one right here must be angry, right? I mean, I'd be angry if people were grabbing onto my arms too. An octopus has a big appetite. Crabs are its favorite food, but it also likes lobsters, clams, and other shellfish. Sometimes an octopus waits in its den until a meal passes by, like right here. Then it reaches out an arm and grabs. So this one's a lobster. There's a crab over here, some shrimp, some shellfish. Let's move this over a little bit. Each arm is lined with suckers. They work like little rubber suction cups. The common octopus has 240 suckers on each arm. The octopus holds its food with its suckers and examines it. The octopus carries its catch toward its mouth. The mouth is on the underside of the body, and inside it is a hard, curved beak. So here's the mouth underneath right here, and that's where the beak is. The octopus uses its beak to crack the shell of its prey. It squirts the prey with poison from a gland in its mouth. When the prey is paralyzed or dead, the octopus feeds. So remember we were saying that the octopus has poisonous saliva. So they inject their prey with that poisonous saliva and then they eat it. And when we say paralyzed, that means that they can't move anymore. Sometimes an octopus leaves its den and hunts for food. It hunts by sight using its sharp eyes. When we say sharp eyes, that means they have really good eyesight. The octopus may crawl along using its suckers to hold onto rocks and pulling itself forward. Or it may jet by drawing in water and shooting it out through a tube, which is called the siphon. So here's the siphon right here. And this is them jetting using that siphon. With each spurt, the octopus jets through the sea. Once the octopus spies something to eat, it spreads its webbed arms. It floats down and wraps itself around its prey. It may store crabs or clams in its suckers and take them home to eat. So not only do the suckers help them get around, but they can grab different kinds of food and keep them and hold on to them with their suckers to take back to their den. When an octopus has eaten, it tidies up its den. It clears out the shells using its siphon to blow them away. So here's that siphon. He's using it to blow out the old clams and things from its den. Sometimes other animals try to eat an octopus. The octopus does not fight. Instead, it tries to hide or escape. If a big fish attacks, the octopus changes colors and jets off. The octopus no longer looks like the animal the fish was going to attack, and so the fish is fooled. Remember, the octopus is not very big, so when we're talking about big fish, they don't necessarily have to be that big, right? Because let's go back and check the common octopus that we're talking about is only 30 inches long. That's just a little bit over 2 feet, so it's not very big. An octopus can also give off an ink-black liquid through its siphon. So again, the siphon is where the ink comes out of. The ink forms a blob that has the shape and smell of an octopus. The enemy attacks the blob. The octopus escapes. That is how an octopus defends itself against the moray eel, one of its most dangerous enemies. The moray eel is big enough to swallow an octopus whole. It has sharp teeth and a keen sense of smell, which it uses in hunting. So when we say keen sense of smell, that means it's really good at smelling things. When an octopus sees a moray, it turns black and gives off a blob of ink. The moray picks up the scent of the black blob and attacks it. The octopus turns white and jets away. Sometimes a moray eel is able to tear off one of the octopus's arms before the octopus escapes. If this happens, the octopus can hunt and travel with 7 arms, and in time, it grows a new arm. That's pretty cool. A female octopus mates when she is 1 to 2 years old. A few weeks after mating, she finds a den and starts to lay her eggs. A common octopus lays thousands of eggs, perhaps 200,000. It takes her a week or more to lay them. Each egg is the size of half a grain of rice and has a stem. The female weaves and glues the stems together, making strings about 4 inches long. She hangs the strings in her den. From then on, the female spends all her time taking care of her eggs. She does not hunt or eat. What do you think happens if she's not hunting or eating? The eggs take 4 to 6 weeks or more to hatch. The female guards from hungry fishes. She keeps the water around the eggs fresh and clean by blowing on the strings and running her arms through them. When the eggs hatch, the female's job is done, and she dies. That's sad. The newly hatched young are tiny, no bigger than fleas. They can change color and give off ink, but they cannot jet or crawl or hide in dens. For a month or more, they drift in the sea. Most become food for fishes and other animals. Only a few live to grow up. As they do, they become surprisingly clever animals. Long ago, people learned that an octopus is good at solving problems. If an octopus cannot open a clam, it waits for the clam to open itself. Then it places a pebble between the two shells. The clam can no longer close up tight, and the octopus eats it. If an octopus is given a glass jar with a crab inside, it tries to get at the crab. After a few tries, it solves the problem. It takes the top off the jar. Being able to solve problems is a sign of intelligence. So that means that the octopus is really smart. In the wild, octopuses are shy. In aquariums and labs, they seem to like the people they get to know. They enjoy being stroked, and they are playful. Playfulness is another sign of intelligence. They play tug-of-war with people. They also play jokes. A person who annoys an octopus may get squirted. The octopus is truly amazing. And that is the end of this book. I hope you enjoyed it. I find octopuses to be really one of the most interesting animals that you can learn about, which is why I enjoy doing the draw and label so much. So look out for the next draw and label video. Hopefully you'll learn a little bit more, and I hope you enjoyed this story. I'll see you guys next time.